Hello Super Sentai fans and welcome back to Toku Topics. Today I'm taking a look at kind of the final entries in the DonDragoku / DonTorabolt merchandise that I've been doing recently, and that is the figures for this new Ranger from Donbrothers. So I've decided to do both of these in the same video because there's a lot to both of them, but I just figured might as well because this has been out for a while. This just came out like 2 weeks ago or so, something like that. So I figured why not just do it together. So basically, these are both part of the Change Hero series figures in different ways. So obviously this is a more typical Change Hero figure like what we got with Zenkaiger or like we got with the actual Donbrothers team members. And then this is one of the entries in the Alter versions or the Alter line of Change Heroes, but still all Change Heroes. So of course, as you can see here, we have DonDragoku and the pieces for DonTorabolt. So just like last year with the 2 Kaiser figure, you have an armor swap for this guy to make him into either one of the forms. And it's very simple. It's just a little mask change and like a shoulder armor change or like a chest armor change. So not too crazy. And then of course you do get both versions of the Ruko Nageki, which looks pretty nice. I think the figure looks excellent. So I cannot wait to open that up and take a look at all of it there. And then we have DonDragoku and DonTorabolt there. Nothing really on the sides, just kind of the designs there. And then you can see both versions of the figure right there. DonDragoku, DonTorabolt, hero pose, I guess. So very simple armor swaps for that, but I'm definitely looking forward to having a figure to complete the team. And then here is number 6 in the Change Heroes Alter line. So I've done reviews on the first 3. Number 4 was the Soldier Altar, which was a little difficult for me to get, but I do finally have it at home, and that will be making a video appearance soon, so just stay tuned for that. Number 5 was DonRobotaro, and I decided to skip that one. So next up we have number 6. So this is the DonDragoku Alter. So you can see him right there. Very green in this form, but I think it's pretty neat. I definitely like how it looks, and also like the giant, full-on staff mode of the Ruko Nageki. And you can see the gear right there, which I think, is it on his back? I know you can put it on his back, which you don't get it with this, but it does come out in Gear Set 5, Deluxe Gear Set 5, which I just did a video on. So that's how you're going to get the gear, but it does not come with this. And you can see the Dragon mode of it there, the actual hero mode, I guess, or the Ranger mode. And then combinations with the Ninja Altar, which we're going to be taking a look at in my next video. And then just advertisements that it still works with the Zenkaiger stuff because it uses all those same ports. So you can see a little bit of the Ninja Altar right there to replace the arm. And you get more artwork down there. The artwork on the Change Hero boxes has always been extremely beautiful. Number 6, you can also get this in a combo set with the Ninja Altar, just like you could get the Avataro Altar with the Tokuger Altar, but I decided to get them separately here. So there we go. So let's go ahead and open these both up and take a look at what we got. Alright, so here's what you get out of the box for both of these figures. So the last thing I need to do is just take off this tiny little plastic baggie on his head, which I took the whole head off with it. So it's actually a little tricky to try to get this tiny little plastic bag off of his head. Alright, we got it. So let's just go ahead and reattach his head right there. So DonDragoku or DonDragoku, whatever you want to call him, this figure looks fantastic. So I love this suit a lot. And the detailing and the paint on here is perfect. You do get maybe a little duller over gold for the color for his base suit than it should be, but you do get this nice metallic gold on his shield. I love the way that the dragon logo came across there, and the whole helmet is painted perfectly. Just look at that. See, what's really nice about this is that he will get a Yudo figure in the second Yudo set, even though that technically hasn't been fully revealed yet. I'm sure that that's where it's going to be. But this is a fully painted DonDragoku figure. So for that, I absolutely have to recommend getting this. And then maybe you can get the Yudo version to have one that's permanently Torabolt or something, so you don't have to swap them. But since the armors are so, simple and everything and not too hard to swap, this is a perfect figure to get. So as you can see, the gimmick doesn't really limit any of the articulation or the design. What's really nice is that the armor can get out of the way a little bit for the actual arm movement and everything like that. You do get the Toradora sculpted on there very nicely. Obviously not anything specific on the gears, but that wouldn't even be sculpting anyway. That would be like a print, and they're never going to do that so small. Also, since these are Change Hero figures and they're very similar to the Yudo molds, you can take the hands out, even though there is no swappable hands, but there will be swappable hands in the Yudo, and those would be compatible. So that will be out in October, and we'll take a look at that set when it does release, because I'm definitely going to be buying it for the exclusive figures that will be there that are not in Change Hero. But for the most part, you get the same kind of Change Hero articulations. Obviously, the head can move around. The armor kind of just makes it get a little bit in the way of the neck articulation there. You can have a waist rotation there. This kind of moves out of the way for the legs. And I would say his legs are a lot more sturdy. Like, this is a nice sturdy figure compared to Avataro, who just has extremely loose legs. Like, those legs are terrible on Avataro. And that's kind of been a widespread problem. But here, I'm happy to report his legs are not bad. So I can definitely recommend that. So that is very good. And then, of course, if you're in DonDragoku form, you have the Ryuko no Geki. So here it is. Obviously, it's just all black plastic. I think it's kind of strange that it's in black plastic, to be honest, since there's really not too much black plastic on here. So I would probably have preferred this to just be in the same kind of gold. Obviously, you can see the deluxe one back here. It is majority red, so that would actually be the best color to mold it in. But this totally works. I'm totally good with that. So here it is in its full spear mode. And, of course, you can just slot that into his hand, just right like that. And it stays in there very nicely, very sturdy. So you're not going to have to worry about that, falling over or anything like that, or, being loose in the hand. So there is DonDragoku like that. But of course you get the armor pieces, so we're going to pick them right back up and swap them into DonTorabolt. And I just have the Ryuko no Geki back there just for aesthetics. But we'll go ahead and switch that to Torabolt mode. And then we'll switch this to Torabolt mode. So we take the head off, and then you take the armor off just like that. Just two little pegs, nothing too complex. And if you really want to know how to do it properly, I just did it, but the instructions are actually the inside of the flap that his box was in. So there is that, and just showing you everything it comes with. So that's kind of neat. But then basically you just have to take the armor and reattach it like that, and it will lock in very easily. And then we can take the head and the little crest there will just pop right off. And then you have the new one for DonTorabolt, and then you can clip that in. Oop. There we go. So there's DonTorabolt. So very, very simple. Very simple to switch that. And it looks just as good. I think I probably prefer DonDragoku overall, but I really, really like Silver Rangers, and technically this is him in a Silver Ranger form, even though he's still very, very gold. So it's not like too crazy of a difference. And then we can take the Ryuko no Geki in its axe mode and slot that in there. And we'll try to give him maybe a little bit more of a menacing pose, because he's kind of an evil ranger in DonTorabolt form. So there we go. So he looks great in either one of the forms, and I'm very, very happy with this figure. I really don't think there's too many downsides of it or anything like that. Like I said, maybe just the color of the gold could be a little bit more shiny, but the paint detailing and the functionality is perfect, and I think it works a lot better than the Two Kaiser one did last year. I thought the Shinkenger and O-Ranger armors just got a little bit too much in the way of their articulation and everything like that. So I think for here it definitely works a lot better. So we'll go ahead and put DonTorabolt over there with the Dragoku pieces, and we're going to take a look at DonDragoku Alter, which does not have a Torabolt counterpart to it. So here it is how it comes in the package. So you just get a bunch of pieces sitting here. So obviously you can see this is the torso, which is painted very nicely. I really like how this looks a lot, with the chest and everything like that. But let's go ahead and fully assemble it properly. So it looks like these can peg together right there, but they can come apart to be his legs, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So we'll just peg that in there, and then that in there. So that should be pretty accurate. I know he's going to be a pretty tall boy, so we'll kind of get that going there. We're going to have to move the camera in a second, but this is probably my favorite altar we have so far. Pretty confident of that, just based off of how it looks. I think this one is going to peg in, I think here. I don't really think it completely matters which side is which for the arms, but you kind of just have to unpeg them or throw them a little bit here. But there is a peg right there, so I don't know. I guess, yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, so let's peg that in there. And we'll kind of try to see how much hand articulation we got. There we go. So we got something like that. So obviously he's very kind of lanky here. Yeah, this one's really cool. This is definitely the best altar in my opinion. And then you also get the Ryuko no Geki once again. Very similar. Can it unpeg there for some reason? Yeah, I guess it can unpeg there. I don't 100% know why. I think that might be for transformation, but you can see compared to the back there, it's the same thing again. You also have so we have three little versions of it. We have a tiny one, we have the one for the altar, and we have the big deluxe one. So we can just take that and it looks like we can peg it in his hand. There's a little peg there, a little slot right there. I think that's how we're supposed to do it. So there we go. There is, and we don't really have any head articulation necessarily, but there is DonDragoku Alter. So, and I guess technically to complete the look, you want to grab the Alter gear, which like I said does not come with this. You have to get this from gear set 5 or Candy Toy set 3, and you can just peg that right into his butt right there. And any Avataro gear would plug in there. So there we go. That is DonDragoku Alter. I just think he has a pretty nice menacing look. We'll kind of move the camera up a tad for him since he is rather big. So yeah, I like this a lot. Obviously, you have a lot of articulation points on here. It's kind of hard to mention them all, but like also, I think he holds together a lot better than Avataro Alter does, which we'll bring in for comparison in a second. But as you can see, you can move these claw hands and everything. You can bend it there at the elbow, rotate it all over the place. You have everything can come apart, of course, for just the part swaps. I kind of have him like sort of with the knees bent, but you can have him stand with the legs like all the way up. Kind of, it's a little tricky, but that makes him even taller. So there's kind of him standing up straight. Obviously, I showed you kind of the hand peg and everything there, and we will turn this into the dragon form to the best of my ability in a second. So I have to kind of just look at the box for that. But there we go. So there is that, and we'll bring in Avataro Alter. So here's Avataro Alter from the same line, and so you can see even when his knees aren't kind of bent, DonDragoku Alter just really towers over Momotaro there. So I love how this looks. It looks like makes me think of like a Lego Ninjago set or something. I mean, this did too, but this especially with the whole dragon look and everything with it. And as you can see, very similar pieces like to the center there and the center there. So if any of the alters from the past can combine with DonDragoku Alter, because you can make whatever wacky combinations you want to make with any of the alters with this, so you don't have to just stick with the official ones, which is just this, the dragon form, and then also Ninja has an official combination with this and this, which we'll take a look at in my next video here. But yeah, I love how this looks, and one of my other videos too is going to be the Damurasame Alter, so we'll definitely be able to compare the 3 big alters together, which is going to be really fun. So we'll go ahead and move Momotaro out of the way here, and we will try to transform this into its dragon form. So I'm going to try to look at it here on the back of the box and see. It shouldn't be too tricky. I know that this is going to be the tail piece, so we'll take that. And I think we pretty much just have to kind of like move his body into like a crawling position, essentially. I know this is going to go like that, and then these claws are going to kind of bend down like this. I think you technically take the alter gear off, and then I guess you kind of the only thing I'm trying to figure out is how you maneuver that. I guess maybe like that? Probably like that. Oh, is that where you can connect to the, is that where these peg in? Is that what that's for? Because I wasn't 100% sure. Well, no, you don't need to peg them in for that. See, it's supposed to be a dragon, but it's going to turn out to be more kind of like a... Oh, hold on. Does it peg in here? Like to that peg? Is that where you plug the tail in? That's like one thing I don't fully get how it's supposed to work. There's also a little grip there, which I think can also work with the claws, maybe. Or maybe that's probably how you actually have to peg this in. Let's see. How does the tail fit in? That is the question. Like that? It kind of pegs in there. I think that can probably work. Something like that. So it's staying in the little peg. I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but that's kind of the best I'm going to get with it. You can also take this off, by the way, if you wanted to. Take the little gear peg off. So you could technically use this, probably find another port and have another gear peg somewhere if you want to attach gears to random things. So that's kind of fun. But yeah, I mean, that's essentially it. It's basically more like a dog than a dragon, I would say. But you do have a little bit of, like, the mouth can open, which kind of just reveals the face more, which is the same face that's on the gear. So there is that. But yeah, I definitely like this. I think it's definitely a very neat alter to include into the line. And then, like I said, there's just tons of articulation and such like that. So that is pretty much going to do it, though, for my reviews of these two items in the Chain Shiro series figure line. So the next ones are going to be, I'm going to put two more altars together in a video. So the next video is going to be Don Murasame altar with the Ninja altar, and we'll take a look at the Ninja altar with its official combinations with this and with Don Avataro altar and everything that it's supposed to be able to do. Then we can go ahead and bring in Don Avataro to face off here with DonTorabolt. So, and we'll just kind of bring it down here and zoom it in. So yeah, I definitely really recommend the Chain Shiro line. I think the bringing it back from Zenkaiger and continuing it for another year, but adding all these altars and all these figures and everything has just been a very fun thing. But that's pretty much going to do it for all of my DonDragoku videos as well. So I've pretty much reviewed all of his merchandise. The next thing that comes out for him is going to be Toradora Gaijin, which I'm not sure if I'm buying yet. It can combine with Don Onitajin, so we'll have to wait and see if Sentai 5 and the real Matt Hunt and Vaughn, convince me to do it again, but we'll see. So until next time, you guys can follow me on Twitter at LiveRangerKitty or LandonFigPR, and you can check out all of my Don Brothers reviews here on the channel, including the entire Avataro gear toy line. So until next time, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all later.